All set? All right, perfect. All right, all set.
All right.
All right, that's it, man. All right. So you're Chokanga, and Chokanga, you said you work as part of an ER team?
Yeah. Basically what I do is I work at the front desk in an ER. So when a patient comes in for whatever reason, I'm the person who checks them in and I ask them the questions. I'm like, what brings you in today? I put the armband on them, get their insurance information, all that good stuff, and then basically I'm the first person they see when they walk into the hospital.
You're the first point of contact. So how does that change with all this pandemic stuff?
Basically, how that changes is I become the second point of contact. So when someone comes in, we have like a I don't know how familiar you are with like medical professions, but we have someone called a float nurse
Okay.
that that is basically they have like a little kiosk in front of our door,
Okay.
and they screen them. They ask them, "Have you had a fever? Have you left the state or the country in the last 14 days? Have you
Okay.
had a cough?"
Gotcha.
Um, Yeah, so they have the first point of contact at that. Send them
So
off to me after I do my usual job.
so they're the human sacrificed, so to say.
Yeah,
They're the
kind
first
of.
point. All right. All right. I think I
Yeah,
can do that.
you know, people at the hospital, people drive around all the time. We had a giant group from our city um, coming around with they made like a homemade parade kind of where they're like, oh, you guys are heroes. Well, I kind of feel bad because the nurses and the doctors, those are the people that are really sacrificing. I'm more protected than they are because they're
No.
actually dealing with the patients.
No, yeah,
Um,
and I'll be honest, it's true, but you know what it is, man.
yeah,
I think it's at a certain point, it's everyone is like that, you know.
yeah,
Everyone at a point is because you might be the second point of contact, but that's still something, you know.
yeah.
You
Well,
still
I'm
see a
just doing.
huge amount of people.
Yeah, I'm just doing my job, man. I'm not trying to be a hero. I'm just trying to help in
No,
any
and
way I
that's
can.
more than enough, man. I mean, you hear about all these other professions, even a Costco worker. You know, the amount of people that are trying to flow into that building, or
Yeah.
the amount of people right now that are panicking into ER rooms for some simple symptoms. Now, have you happened to see any case of coronavirus that you know is for sure went through you or
Oh
went
yeah,
through the hospital?
definitely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we get some every day.
Oh, so you're
Um,
already starting to see some.
yeah. So about 2 weeks ago,
Yeah,
uh, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, there's really like nothing.
yeah.
Yeah, because I'm changing the regions, which I'm searching, and I'm gonna change it to recommended since you're in U.S. West.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, about 2 weeks ago, we really didn't have anybody, and we were just kind of like, all right, well, this is the calm before the storm.
Yeah.
So, but about a week ago, I would say we started getting like an influx of patients with symptoms, and they're pretty paranoid about having it. So, um, it's been getting kind of rough lately, but we're just doing our job. We're being careful. We're wearing our masks, wearing our gloves, and everything. And we feel pretty good about it. But of course, there's still that part of us where we're pretty nervous.
Definitely, and I think the biggest part a lot of people don't kind of realize is, especially for someone like you that's in the medical profession, is it's a constant worry behind the back of your head, you know, like,
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure it is for you. It's you know, what if I
yeah,
contract it? What if I spread it to other people? You know?
yeah, definitely. And the thing is too is that my mom, she's a nurse, but she works at a different hospital.
Oh
Um,
wow, yeah.
yeah, she's in our house. We have like this attachment, kind
Hmm?
of like it used to be a maid's quarters, but now it's like just kind of like a separate room and living room that's in our upstairs, and
Ye-
she's quarantining in there while she's doing her job.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so there,
No, I
no
know.
more on that me, so it's
I know, and that's a good thing. At least you guys are taking precautions. I
yeah.
remember reading just a little bit ago. Sorry, give me a second, okay?
Oh,
Sorry,
you're
I gotta sneeze.
good.
Now I remember went away. But I remember reading how there's a big push for like nurses and medical staff to self quarantine, and how regardless some people are still not listening to it,
Mhm.
and it's
Yeah.
kind of crazy.
Yeah,
'Cause-
no, it's actually pretty crazy because um, the college, the university I used to go to, Central Michigan University,
Hmm?
uh, out at Chippewas.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people that I see on Snapchat, you know, they're still up there because they didn't want to go home. They're still paying rent at their like houses and apartments and stuff.
No, yeah.
They're still all like partying like normal college kids. They're
No.
still like,
Yeah, you're right.
yeah, it's kind of messed up, especially when you're like someone like me who's like, oh, fast. Ooh,
There you go.
saucy.
Arigato.
You're someone who sees like everything on like on the front lines. You know, you kind of just it kind of puts it in perspective. Like, you know, we really should be taking this seriously. Like, you know, us. You know, I'm 23.
Okay.
So I'm not in like the risk group, but like
Okay.
my family is. You know, so it's like I don't know.
No, I understand, and for me as well. I'm also 23. The only difference
Yeah.
is I'm not in the medical field, but I am in a highly exposed commercial place right now.
1 second. 1 second. Yeah, mom. All right, thank you.
All right, there you go. I'm sorry. Bum, bum, bum.
Sorry, mom was talking to me.
No, it's okay. Take care of that. No, and I definitely see my fair share of people. I see maybe 1,000 people a day
Oh.
that pass through. So the numbers are up there, and I mean the amount of people who don't take care, man.
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of scary, but you know, you just gotta do your part and
No, yeah,
watch
and
guys.
I mean it kind of is kind of awakening when you don't see medical professionals take care of themselves. It means that, you know, the bigger population who doesn't have that knowledge is doing it even worse.
Yeah, no, for sure, definitely. You know, I live in a smaller town
Yeah.
too. It's very conservative and you know old school, whatever. And you know, a lot of people weren't taking it seriously at first because just a lot of the rhetoric that was going on about it, like, oh, it's just like it's not a big deal.
It's just the flu.
Not trying to overly political, but like a lot of people weren't taking it seriously because you know they're like, oh, it's just a common cold, and I think that didn't really help the situation all that much.
No, yeah, definitely. And I'm pretty sure it didn't. Have you had any of those people who were saying stuff like that come into your clinic or into your hospital?
Yeah, we've had some people. I'm not gonna say.
No, yeah, don't no names, you know, but I'm pretty sure that's happening, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like I don't know if you're familiar with basketball. There's that one basketball player who was joking around, and he said, you know, for all you guys know, I have it, and then he starts touching all the mics, and then like a day or two later, he pops out with, oh yeah, I'm positive with corona. You know?
Oh yeah, and you know that was like around the same time as when people were making like jokes about it still. And,
Yeah.
so, like after that happened, I feel like and the league shut down. I'm a huge basketball fan. That's my number one sport. I love it. I'm actually a Lakers fan.
Oh, there you go. I'm in LA, so by default, you know.
Yeah.
And definitely, we got hit with the double whammy, man. Kobe
Yeah.
and then Corona, you know.
Yeah, Kobe and then Corona. It's 2020. It just needs to end.
Yeah, we started off with World War III. It's been such a crazy year, man. And then I think this is like to top it all off. You know.
Yeah. Hopefully. Well, I don't really know anything about the timelines. Like people, like I know what Trump's saying. Like they just did a conference call actually.
No, yeah.
With all like commissioners and stuff, and they're saying they want to get the NFL season started back on time, but you know, I'm not really sure on like the possibilities of that, to be honest. But hopefully, you know, we can get something going. I know they're talking about an enforced competition for basketball.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. How
No,
that would work.
because I do know, and I kind of read up on it a little, because I'm interested in sports and everything. It's basically like how to explain it. Like basketball is a close contact sport, but there is a limited amount of people that have to be on the field. It doesn't have to be so many people, you know. There's a referee, the team themselves, maybe the media. So you have a small amount of people that have to get tested before the match even goes on.
Yeah.
And
for sure,
and that's where I think where maybe you can pull off a match or two, but to pull off a whole league with everyone being, you know, tested.
For me personally, I don't know. One of my favorite parts about watching any sports event is, you know, seeing like the fans. So for me, like I'm gonna be sad no matter what, because if there's like an NBA playoffs without any fans,
No, yeah.
you know, I don't know how I'm gonna like that. But you know, I'll take that over no basketball.
No, yeah, definitely. And then especially right now, you know, we all make sacrifices, and I think that's one that we all have to make.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, for sure. Whatever gets it, rolling, keeps everyone safe is really the priority.
No, yeah, of course. Now something else I wanted to ask you too is how's you know have you been seeing like a case a rise in anything else other than coronavirus cases? Have you seen a rise in? Because I know for example I know for sure some hospitals get a little bit more cases of panic attacks and stuff of the sort.
Well, one thing that. Sorry, man.
It's okay.
I'm horribly that game.
It's okay.
But yeah, one thing that they've been stressing is so we know this coronavirus is going on, but that's still not going to stop people from getting heart attacks, and strokes and stuff like that, and especially with all the anxiety and stress.
Yeah.
That this comes from, people are coming in, where they think they have symptoms. They come in, turns out just to be a normal common cold or whatever. So we get a lot of that coming in.
Yeah.
Now I do have to say we do have a smaller hospital, since we're more in a rural area. So right now what we're going through is, so for the past 2 weeks, all of I live in Metro Detroit.
Yeah.
Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of the bigger hospitals close to the city, they about 2 weeks ago they got all of the influx of patients and all of that. And now in the past week at our hospital, we've been seeing them showing up at our hospital. So.
Yeah. It starts to overflow the system. Because the hospital can be designed to take a certain amount of people, and it can accommodate a few extra, but at a certain point it's gonna have to outflow to somewhere else. And you have a smaller hospital, so I imagine you don't have as many beds or.
Yeah, we don't even have beds. We had to ask for the beds. So
no.
It's been kind of rough, but
Of course.
I don't really know the whole gist of it because I just work in the registration.
No, yeah, but that's a big thing. And then something I wanted to ask you is, how are you guys at procuring masks and all that stuff? Have you guys been getting enough? Have you guys been getting enough supplies?
Actually, not really. No, we haven't gotten anything. So what all of our medical staff has been using is the surgical masks, which are good for surgeries, but we don't have the N95s or anything like that.
Yeah.
I have my own because we just had some in my house. But as far as what in general the hospital has, it's really nothing.
No, yeah, and I understand because right now there's a huge shortage. There's people who are not at risk, who the moment this happened they bought up a huge stock of them,
Yeah.
And
yeah, no,
LA is a little different. I don't know if it happens in your town, but LA is kind of seen as a place to hustle. So you get a lot of people who don't need to buy those masks, and right now they're reselling them outside of Target for $5-10.
Yeah.
A single one.
No, we had someone get in trouble for selling. They bought a bunch of paper towels.
Yeah.
And they were selling them for $60 a roll.
Oh man.
Got arrested.
Yeah, because it falls under price gouging, and I happen to work retail into one of these grocery stores, and the amount of things that happen underneath it's crazy, man. I work in the PDMI area is real strict, man. So LAPD is known for being a little bit more lax, but right now everybody's taking it seriously.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So since you work at a grocery store, are you still working and stuff?
No, yeah, and you are no. There is an essential. People do need to eat as much as they also need to have a safe healthcare. And to recover, and but definitely, I think that no matter what, a grocery worker will never be exposed as you are, because we get a lot of people, but we're like the filter. You guys get the pure stuff, the people who are already feeling sick, Whereas we get 700 people, those 700 people might never be contagious, But the 40 you get at your hospital definitely will be,
Do they have you wearing gloves and wearing masks and stuff?
We do wear gloves. The mask we don't, and I personally believe we shouldn't, because we have such a shortage. There is such a shortage that I believe, it doesn't go to us. And and there's a whole movement around going to get grocery workers and people who work in those fields masks right behind first responders. But I don't think people realize that there are no masks. So whatever masks come first have to go to those medical workers. There is no second, you know?
Priority. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and definitely, I live in Cali. You know, Cali's one of the hugest networks. We have the UCLA network of, of hospitals, and it's insane because, I don't know if you know, but we still have to rely on. Sorry, give me a second. Okay. We still have to rely on the U.S. government to provide some emergency provisions, no matter how big Cali is. There's still a lot of people here, and those shipments are still being sequestered by others. I don't know if you found out, but there's a lot of states that have been meaning to get those provisions. New York had him. They had him on their way to New York, and I forgot who took him. Somebody took him away from them, and even the New York governor's like, "Hey, we need him. It's getting bad."
Yeah, I know. So California, from everything I've been hearing on the news, is that California and New York are like the two states that are getting hit the hardest.
No, yeah.
Is there anyone personally that has it? Or?
No, not personally. But then again, it's like how to explain it. Apart from my work, I live a very isolated, pretty big isolated life. But yeah, but the biggest change, and I think people don't kind of see it, is that anyone can be infected, even if you're like I'm telling you, even if you're me, even if you're isolated, even if people don't see you, you still will have a chance to get infected.
Oh yeah.
And especially right now with the stay-at-home order. I don't know if you guys have it out there in Michigan, but we're not supposed to be leaving our home except for essentials, and if you're an essential worker.
Yeah. Are they doing anything to enforce that at all, or?
At the moment, yeah, they're saying there's fines and all that. I've yet to hear about anything, but I know for sure that they've arrested a couple people up at the beaches.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man, it's just, and I believe Cali's a little bit more pragmatic than other places,
Yeah, see, in Michigan, everyone is still going out. There's a pretty nice park in my town.
Yeah.
And people are still out, gathering around and stuff.
And you know what? And I think I see it when I kind of hear about it. I see it. It's usually those people who have the means and the wealth that are used to walking their dog every day, or or people who are churchgoers who think they'll be safe. It's no. There's the scientific behind it.
Yeah.
No matter how much you pray, it won't stop it. And especially those people, those pastors who are still holding those congregations even through this, absolute monsters, man. It's insane.
Yeah, it's I don't know, I'm not really I don't really go to church that much myself, so I don't really know, but do they make money off of that, or
Okay, so what it is when you run a church like that, the way you're able to operate, since you're a non-profit, of course, and you can't sell things, is through donations, and donations are tax-free. So a lot of times these churches, if the money dries up for a week or 2 weeks, they're not profitable anymore. So they need to be open to be profitable. Now, when are people the most charitable? When there's any major catastrophe, an earthquake happens, hits the area, people donate to that church online. So of course, when a pandemic like this strikes, for a lot of people, there's no immediate financial stress. There's no, hey, we need to get an apartment. Hey, we need to get some housing. Oh shit. Hey, we need to get some housing. Hey, we need to do this or that. No, it's just supply. So it's not that big of an expense. So there's still money for them to receive for donations and stuff like that. Pardon me. So.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, they have an incentive to stay open. But like every other business that's not essential, they shouldn't. And I get if religion is essential to you, but pray at home, keep yourself safe. It's just I don't think people understand that sometimes.
Yeah, I wonder if there's any churches that do any kind of virtual service.
A lot of them are, and I think that's I mean, I'm not against the church or God or anything like that, but I believe that's the way to go about it, man. And I believe if you are someone who wants to believe and follow in religion, do it so safely.
Yeah, be responsible, because my big thing is, so for me, I feel okay going every day to work, because even if I do get coronavirus, I live a healthy lifestyle. I think if I just take it myself, I'll be good. But then
Yeah.
I'm worried about the people around me.
No, yeah, definitely. You know,
Like my girl,
uh-huh.
her mom, they're all immunocompromised. Oh shit!
It's
Dude,
okay.
I'm so bad when I'm talking.
Oh, dude, I'm used to it.
Um,
I'm a big mouth.
but yeah, so like I'm worried. I've been staying away from them. It's been tough. Not because like I'm a very social person normally.
No, yeah,
I have all my friends from college still that I still like to hang out with and talk to. That I'm fortunate enough to still live kind of close to.
yeah,
So
of course.
it's been tough not being able to see any friends, family, or my girlfriend. So
No,
I've been playing a lot of Rocket League lately.
no, man, it's insane. It's
Yeah,
insane how
so,
good the competition's gotten.
yeah, right. All the sweaty kids that are home from school.
No, and you know it's good, and I think it's kind of, it's a good experiment. It's a good social thing that happened. I think even so, I don't know if you see, and I think how to explain it. Like it's a good social thing that's happened because we're kind of, a lot of places are doing it very well, social distancing, and you are as well, of course. Especially with keeping yourself away from people who are immunocompromised or people who are older, and, and I think that's perfect. I don't have anyone who's even immunocompromised or even above the age of 50, man, in my
Oh,
life.
really?
Yeah, so you know, I still have to be careful though. There's still things, and we had I think we were the state to have the 17-year-old die in our state.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
mean,
we just had a college student, 22 years old, perfectly healthy, no underlying conditions.
Yeah.
Just died. Yeah.
no, yeah, and I don't think that's what people get. It's there is a slim chance in that 3% that they give out into the public. There is that slim chance, but that might be you.
Yeah, exactly. I
Or
don't know. I'm just trying to, because basically what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to, do what I can to help, just do it in a smart way.
yeah,
So I don't help for anyone else in danger.
no,
Obviously, I'm not like, I'm not getting anxiety attacks over it because I think I'll be good even if I do get it. But again,
no, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right, and
you never
and I,
know.
and I think especially you working in that field, I don't think a lot of people even let themselves have those kind of attacks.
Yeah, I mean you can't like
No.
don't we work every day. You're going in this doing this every day. You gotta. Oh shit, I messed up.
Yeah, it's alright.
You gotta have a positive mindset. You can't drive yourself crazy, or else you're never gonna make it. So,
No, yeah, and it's a hard thing to do, man.
yeah, and I've been exposed to much worse things than coronavirus. I've been exposed to like all forms of meningitis, things like that.
Things they're a lot harder hitting and a lot easier to get infected with.
Yeah, things that you have like a 10%, survival rate. Things like ooh.
No.
Yes.
No, those things, and I think it's kind of blessings, and like we have a lot of things we take for granted, and a lot of people right now are panicking, about, oh, when am I gonna see my friends, and they don't think, am I gonna see my friends at the end of this, they're just counting down, and I think that's where kind of a lot of people are guilty, where they sneak out for a bit, hey, let me go see so and so, but they gotta understand that there's a reason why we're trying to be safe,
Yeah, it's that, and it's frustrating too because just a lot of people that I know personally that aren't really doing social distancing.
Yeah.
They're all young. That's a very selfish like mindset to have.
No, yeah, definitely, and I think that's kind of like it's not that, I mean, it is selfish, but it's also ignorant,
Yeah.
and I think it's a really good thing for I mean, for these school kids to understand that yes, the world can shut down,
Yeah,
And- and- yeah.
this is crazy because I remember back in '09, remember swine flu?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I remember that was a pretty big deal in the media, but it was never like nothing got shut down.
no,
Like,
No.
no league shut down, prisons were shut down. Like it's just crazy. Nothing like this has ever happened. I'm 23. I was like, the craziest thing that's happened next to this in my life was probably like 9/11.
yeah,
I was like 5,
yeah, 4,
or 4 or 5.
yeah, 4 or 5,
And,
yeah,
and this is probably the craziest thing in my generation. I don't know if you're my age or whatever, but
No, exactly right. And I think you know, we are living in history. We are living in one of the craziest times in times, you know. And then and I think, you know, us living in the States, we're living in a very interesting time right now. We're not only living in, you know, in history just because of it in of itself. We got we got a whole bunch of other stuff going down here, and I think 2020 is bound to be.
we got Donald Trump as president.
It's not even that, man, because, you know, everybody has different opinions. I don't know. It's just wow. It's just the amount of normalies, normal. Yeah, I don't even know how to say it, but it's just we've been hit after hit after hit. You know, we're not even halfway in, and it's a war with a foreign country. It's
Well, think about it this way too. Like, so like my grandpa, he was born in 1935, I think.
yeah.
So he was telling me some crazy stuff when he was a kid. Like, you know, he was old enough to remember like the end of like World War II, and then aside from that, you know, I don't know how familiar you are with like, you know, history or whatever. That was my favorite subject, but like, you know, the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Oh yeah.
Nuked. You know, he lived through like he was at Martin Luther King's "I Have a Dream" speech. Like, he was there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 'cause he was in the Navy, and he worked in Washington D.C. in the '60s. And you know, he was telling me like how crazy like the civil rights movement was, and
definitely.
There, you know, it's just crazy because like I feel like our generation too, like we may not be going through like, you know, World War or like, I feel like we're like the next craziest thing in terms of what we've seen.
No, yeah, definitely, and I think it's more of a. I think it's more something that tests, you know, like when you have, you know, a world war, you know your side, you know where you're supposed to go, you know, everybody has their specific, you know, place where they're gonna be at, you know, like, hey, you're for this country, you're for this, but right now as the country is split, so are these communities that refuse to, you know, self-isolate. Huh?
Wait, you want to play a game of hoops?
Let's do one quick one, and I think that's where we'll wrap it up.
Alright, sounds good.
Yeah, gotcha. Let's go ahead. No, man, but you know, it definitely is something like, you know, something insane. It's, you know, you listen about all these things about, you know, for example, you were just talking about Martin Luther King. The assassination of Martin Luther King split the country. You know, you have a split of two, but now you're getting all these compounding things in a year where we're not even halfway done, and it's definitely something a lot scarier.
Yeah, and just to think too, like, you know, this is the first year of the 2020s. I wonder if this is going to be a decade of craziness.
These are going to be the roaring 20s again, man. And it's insane, but it's a good thing to be, you know, it's to be grateful right now that, you know, we're still here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's all you got to be, man. Just grateful. Like you said, count your blessings. Actually, I don't know how long this queue is going to take, so I'm just going to do a regular casual doubles game.
Yeah, of course. Man, definitely thank you for coming in. Now, there was one more question I had for you. That was, how's your workload? Are you working more? Are you working less?
Okay, so here's the interesting thing about it. So we in the hospital, we have a whole like registration department.
Of course.
My job is just one small part of that. You know, we got people who do like insurance verification in the background. We got people who do who check like the systems, make sure everything's good, smooth running, make sure everyone's insurances and everything else is smooth.
Of course.
They're all working remotely from home.
Yeah.
My physician and the guy who works with me, who does admitting, we're like the only two people in our department who are still at the hospital.
Okay. Yeah.
So we've had more workload in terms of like paperwork that we have to do.
Yeah, because you guys are the only ones physically there. Yeah.
Yeah, and also in terms of just like pure like amount of hours worked, it hasn't changed too much. But I work afternoons, so I work from 3 to 11 p.m.
Yeah.
Every day. But I might have to start working 12-hour midnight shifts. So I might have to start working from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Because we also might have some people who, you know, are freaking out who might quit. So if
Yeah.
that happens, and
Yeah.
that has happened with a couple people.
No, yeah.
So if that keeps happening, I might have to work 12 hours, which is good because I get paid more.
No, yeah,
I
it
was
definitely
told
is.
about it. But yeah, so those are a couple things that might happen. Oh.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
and
in terms of the workload, just some more paperwork, but nothing too crazy. Aside from like having to do all the extra questioning in terms of
mhm.
questioning in terms of where have you been,
Yeah.
interrogating, being like, have you been in contact with anybody that has it, things like that.
Respiratory illness, some yeah, and I think that's good, and I think there certainly is a panic and people are trying to quit or take a quick leave of absence or redeem their weeks of sick pay or their vacation, and I think that is a big thing. But if we have a prolonged for us it's a prolonged self isolation. So there's a lot of people right now who did say I'm not gonna work anymore, and and it's okay, but
Yeah, I don't blame them.
no, yeah, but when it comes down to bills and they gotta work again, it's kind of like you saved yourself 2 weeks, but you're gonna come back,
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm trying to save up money so I can move out.
Yeah.
Move with girlfriend, stuff like that. So for me, I'm thankful I work in the hospital and not somewhere where I could got laid off.
Yeah.
Because like my family, my cousin and my aunt and uncle, they all work for the same manufacturing company.
Oh yeah.
And all four of them got laid off.
No, yeah, and same with us. Only one member of the family got laid off, but it's only 2 of us working. But time doesn't wait for you. Even right now, as I'm talking, companies, insurance companies, mortgage companies, escrow, they should all put a hold, but that doesn't mean they will. They gotta make a living too. So
yeah, which is why people, I guess, people waiting for the stimulus check.
Yeah, and a lot of people are kind of still looking at it like, hey, we're gonna wake up. It's all gonna be over.
How long do you think this is gonna go for? Like, I have no idea.
No, man, I've heard a lot of people say that it's gonna be past the summer. Summer is gonna die down and it's gonna come back.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep on seeing this until either everyone gets infected, or we curve the infection so low that it flattens.
My bad.
No problem. So as it looks, we're not gonna curve the infection, man. I think it's just impossible.
Yeah.
I think it's until everyone gets infected or we find some cure.
Yeah, I know this is like an ignorant take on it, but man, this is supposed to be the Lakers' year, man, win it all.
And I think that's a good way to kind of put it. And I don't think it's ignorant at all. I think it's a good way to think about it. It was supposed to be, because it was. And I mean, because of the movement and acts of people who definitely did not think about other people. The Chinese government, for example, who silenced all those detractors, the people who were gonna, warn us, could have saved us so much time and people,
Yeah.
And it should have been okay. It's just, it didn't happen. It's sad, but, it is what it is, man. Now.
Yeah, I mean, all you can do is just move forward and...
Dude, what the fuck? He just murdered. He went straight for him. Guy was making his way back, dude. No, but you're right. It's just it should have been. It's not. It's not a question of a lot of people will be upset, and I think where we kind of have to do is we have to stop kind of giving voice to those people who are saying, oh, by Easter it should be done. No, there's no timeline for it. Everyone's experiencing it differently.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's gonna be done when it's done. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't rush it.
And I think it's not even gonna be like that. I think it's gonna be done when people are tired of sitting around, when people can't afford to anymore.
Oh yeah.
Because at a certain point, it'll halt the economy. It'll halt everything. It'll halt.
The better we social distance, the better we,
The quicker this will be over. Yeah.
Yeah, the quicker it'll be over. That's the way I look at it. You just gotta tough it out. And the more that you defy it, the longer it's gonna go, and the worse it's gonna be, and it's never gonna get better. But I'm staying optimistic.
Yeah.
I really don't want it to get to a point where it's like everyone, or most people it gets to a point where like they know someone that's gonna like get affected by it for it to be a wake up call. I hope it doesn't have to get to that point.
Yeah.
But if it does, then that's it's because we didn't do the right things we needed to do. And, we're all gonna pay for it. So hopefully everyone. I'm hopeful that it doesn't have to get to that point, but who knows?
No, yeah, and I think when you hear these numbers that they throw out, with the number of infected, and the number that are supposed to be, who are supposed to die, they're insane numbers, man. They're crazy numbers, crazy high numbers.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, a lot of people are not really, they don't really grasp the severity of it all.
Yeah, I feel like it's getting better now, though.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot more social awareness, and I think that comes from the fact that you got even huge celebrities like Cardi B,
Yeah.
Coronavirus, that shit is real, and it's it's a huge thing that they're here, and that they're at least helping, You got Steve Aoki with his with these live concerts online. It's they're spreading that awareness, and I feel like in some small part we can too. 2 viewers, 3 viewers, word of mouth, here and there. I think we need to spread this as far as we can.
That's yeah, man. That's what we need. We need to each do our own part. Whatever way we can, we each need to, do what we can to make sure that we're all staying safe and staying healthy.
No, yeah, and sorry to cut you off, but 36 minutes. I think we're perfectly fine. Thank you so much for coming in, man.
Oh, thanks for having me. So, when's this gonna be on?
Today. I'm just gonna upload it. That's it. Put a little thumbnail.
Is your YouTube name also Ruscalum?
It is. So I will be uploading it there, and you can show your friends and family. And thank you so much for coming in, and thank you for all the hard work you're putting in. Thank you for being at the front desk, for being at the front lines.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate all the kind words, man.
All right, mister. Any last words you want to say?
Just stay healthy and keep social distancing, and hopefully we can get this over with.
There you go. From Chokanga, straight from his mouth. You guys take care. Bye-bye.